Hello. Hello, everyone. This is gonna be my reaction to DLC 2 getting revealed. And I'm hoping we get a Zombies trailer in this live stream that starts in about a minute here. But anyways, my name is Keiko, and I'm just gonna see what's going on here in the good old Call of Duty world. It's not like I've been playing Apex for the past week. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just gonna pull up some things here. Get ready for this. I doubt they'll start on time. I doubt it. Just hold on a moment. Okay. We are good to go. I'm just gonna pull up Twitter, make sure nothing crazy is going on here. Make sure nothing wild is about to go on. Looks like we got some pretty normal stuff. Treyarch. So they did reveal their roadmap, which we'll go over in a minute because this thing is starting, and I bet we're just gonna get a trailer. Oh, this is just their intro. All right, I'll full screen it. All right, boys. I'm gonna keep this quiet. I don't want to get no copyright. I'm gonna talk over a lot of it. I really like their intro, man. It's pretty dope. Alright, boys. Come on. Show us something good. Show us something good. Show us something good. New operation for Blackout and multiplayer, by the way, seems fucking dope. Alright? That shit is amazing. I think this is just gonna be the trailer. Yeah, I'm gonna mute this because it's got copyrighted music over it. But this shit is awesome, man. Like, look at this. We got like muscle cars and fucking police SUVs, helicopters, cosmic silverbacks, sick new outfits. Boys, I need to go buy some COD points. Yikes. That's a yikes. Apparently I heard that supply drops are back. That's a yikes. That's a yikes for me. That's a yikes for me, dog. Supply drops are back. I was really enjoying just the supply stream, you know, being able to unlock everything. Everything's chill, everything's good. I'm like tier 200 in this last supply stream. Enjoying it. I got pretty much everything in the game that you could want right now, and I'm happy. You know, it's good. I barely had to spend any money, and I only spent money on extra little things that I wanted, and everything else was free. That's dope. And Treyarch's like, haha, bitches, supply drops. Remember Black Ops 3? Yeah. Anyways, I'm hoping these new weapons aren't going to be in supply drops. These new weapons seem dope, by the way. I just saw, like, before I started the stream, I saw a little bit of gameplay from Korean Savage, and yeah, the new weapons seem pretty cool. There's like this one shotgun that's automatic. It's kind of like the Haymaker, but it has like, here it is right here. It has a really strong resemblance to the Spaz 12, so it's kind of like a mix between the Spaz 12 and the Haymaker, and apparently it destroys shit. So I'm really excited to try that out. Really excited. It's probably going to be tier 100 though. Like, by the way, these outfits are fucking amazing. And these maps look super dope. Anyways, we did get on the roadmap the new Zombies map. That's gonna be in March, and I mean that's cool and all, but I wanted it like tomorrow. But it's coming in March, so that's kind of great. I guess we got that going on, and it's another Chaos map. God bless, rip the community, but whatever. I'm cool with it. I like the Chaos story. I mean, I don't love it, but you know, I'm on board. I'm interested. For me, it's like, I don't care about the story unless the map is good. Like, if you make a really good map... Anyways, I'll shut up. Let's listen to this. We'll talk about it after.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Raffis, and welcome to Treyarch on this gorgeous President's Day. What you just saw was the new trailer for Operation 3 Grand Heist. Kicks off tomorrow first on...
Yes, boys. Exclusivity, by the way.
I'm here with
Yikes.
The original Motley crew. Dan Bunting, Tony Flame, Matt Schrantz. We're going to dive into all things.
They're probably going to talk about multiplayer
first.
Thanks
for being here.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
No. Dial it back down from an 11. All right.
It's Monday morning.
It is.
Asking a lot of
Let's see, boys. What do we got?
All right, Dan. Want to kind of kick things off with you, if you could.
I love their studio. It looks so dope.
Heading into Operation 3 Grand Heist tomorrow. Shapes and colors. Tell us remind us about the season structure? Tell us what is to come.
Yes,
and,
please.
Would
how
love
the team's
to.
been working on it.
So as you said, today is the last day of season 2. So get out there and finish that season out, because tomorrow it all kicks off with Operation 3 Grand Heist.
Let's go.
And this is our biggest operation yet. This is something that the team has been working on.
Except it doesn't
really hard,
include the
the
zombies.
last few months to bring this to the fans. It is the beginning of the season tomorrow. That means that there is a ton of content and events planned throughout.
Really
the
excited
season.
for the
So I wanna
cops and
make sure
robbers mode.
that our fans know that this is
Whatever
like
it's
this
called,
is the
I
kickoff.
forget.
This is the beginning. So a lot of the stuff that you see in the trailer that we just watched is going to be available from day one. Some of it's going to be come throughout the season. Some of it's going to come a little bit later. Some of it's going to come every week.
That's
So,
really good.
we have
I'm
a
glad
lot
they
of
didn't just
exciting
dump
action,
it,
planned
just like they did for the last
across
season.
Multiplayer, Blackout, and Zombies.
Well, to maybe for anybody that wants to sort of take a little bit of a deeper dive, we just released a blog post that has a roadmap for the operation.
Correct, yes.
So you get a bit of a feel for sort of generally what is coming.
New
when,
Chaos
but also
Zombies
get
map,
a
by
good
the
feel
way.
for the fact that, like, we've got spring, summer,
Yikes.
fall operations planned.
That's right. 6 operations planned throughout the year, and those are up on the blog post as you mentioned.
Yeah, so here it is.
Of course, this week.
I'll move. I'll just like
walk our
whoop.
fans through the series of events that are going to happen this week. Tomorrow is the big update. Of course, for multiplayer, the big thing that you're going to notice right off the bat is Outriders coming. Outrider is a favorite.
Yeah, I'm really glad Outriders coming out because that is going to be like she was one of my favorite characters from Black Ops 3, and that bow is so much fun. Cosmic Silverback, fuck yeah. For Blackout, there's this new hardcore mode, so I guess less damage. That'll be interesting. I don't know how Blackout will play with that. I doubt it'll play very well. I don't know, but I'm really excited for these new weapons right here, and mid-season event, boys. That's good. Brand new vehicles, good shit. The Blackout and multiplayer stuff, top notch.
Of equipment that she has, and that's a little mini drone. So Hawk and Sparrow are her 2 items. The Hawk, you can fly, park it in a location, and it will automatically tag any enemies that walk through that camera's field of view from wherever you've left it parked.
Neat.
We also see the return of party games.
That's right. We're in the chamber. First one tomorrow.
Fuck yeah.
Which I'm sure Matt will go into in a little bit more detail. That's one of our favorite modes from Black Ops 1, and when we did the party games back then. And kick that off. It's a very different way to play. It's kind of like a mix between.
It's a fun way to play that this game is desperately needs.
Crazy those tense moments when you're one-on-one with somebody who you don't know if they have a pistol, if they have a bullet or not in their chamber. And then of course there's a series of others that are planned throughout the season, which you can find on the blog. And yeah, it's really exciting.
Prop hunt
tomorrow.
Well, I mean, while we've still got plenty to talk about in the Operation 3 front, there's still a pretty large tuning pass for tomorrow as well, which we want to get into.
Nerf the SOG. Nerf the Spitfire.
I mean, what are we forgetting? It's like we've got a couple new weapons coming tomorrow as well.
Oh, yeah, we've got some new weapons coming. We've got the Rampage full-auto shotgun, which is a lot of fun. We haven't had a full-auto shotgun in this game yet, so when playtesting it, this is always a tough weapon to get right, but it's so satisfying to use, and we think it's in a great
spot. Look at this
spot
shit,
for
boys.
balance, so
Bah, bah, bah.
excited to get that in players' hands. It's got its own unique set of attachments.
That shit looks so fun, dude. Look at that drum mag.
And it's got more of a traditional pellet mechanic where you want to get more pellets on target in order to maximize damage, so your accuracy is actually going to come into effect more than with some of the other shotguns.
That's super cool, though.
And then there's
the drone.
Yeah, we got the Switchblade, which is a really fun SMG. It actually folds into kind of
Reminds
like a
MW3
briefcase sort of shape and back again, so it fits in with the heist theme. It's because of its
that's
folding,
cool.
nature, modular nature. It's more of a lightweight SMG.
It fires
so
so
it's very fast
fast.
handling, faster reload. It fits in actually to some of the balance changes
Jesus.
we've done to make sure that there's that it has a little bit of room for it. There's room to get some of the other guns to focus on their core strengths and makes more room for the new Switchblade. So it's going to have its own place within the SMG class that's getting a balance pass as part of this operation as well.
And I mean, so especially whenever you get into map locations like casino and sort of fitting the theme of Grand Heist, we've got a new melee weapon as well that fits right into the mix.
That's right. Grab the cash, grab the money bag, and then smack players in the face with it. There's a money bag melee weapon. So it's just, we're just thinking of ways to have fun with the operation. New melee weapons, and that is the new melee weapon. It's a bag of cash. Smack people with it. A couple coins might fall out. So it's a lot of fun just to run around the map with that thing.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching, or
For the next operation, maybe we could live stream that creative brainstorm, sort of like how,
You don't want to see that.
Honestly,
Yes.
okay.
how we get to that one. Anything else that we want to cover?
I know they're joking there, but I would love to see a live stream of like behind the scenes stuff and talking about how they make stuff.
That are coming with this operation to multiplayer. One is called Lockup. The other one is called Casino, and Lockup is set in an LAPD kind of.
This is so cool.
Police headquarters.
I love this. It looks a little bit similar to Arsenal. I think it's called Arsenal in this game.
And then of course,
So I don't
Casino
know.
is, as
That's
its
kind of
name
worrying,
would
but it does
imply,
look
is
really
a
cool.
Casino, based
So-
in.
Just explain that.
Just
to me?
right on the
okay.
nose.
Right on. Okay, got it.
And
Reading
it's
into it.
based in Monaco, so it's kind of got that European flair, very ornate, very opulent kind of
Cool.
old world sort of.
The
casino
outfits for
building
this game
with,
look so
Formula
sick, dude.
One racing happening all around it. So it's pretty awesome. These two maps are very different. If you look at the difference between the two, Lockup really is about verticality, rooftops, fighting high low.
Oh,
up
ran
and
out of
down,
ammo.
through some winding passageways.
Well, we're going to jump in with Miles here.
Bunch of
pretty
doors
soon.
you can
He's
open and
gonna-
close.
giving
That's
you the
cool.
overview.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes.
So one more thing, just I don't know if we made the point or not, but the operation is going to be going on for like
Couple months, yeah.
Couple months.
It's going to be going through
Yeah.
March and into April as well.
So what that means for us is just there's going to be more things coming throughout the operation, right? There's a lot of stuff dropping.
Good.
Right at the start.
Good.
And then,
Thank
of course, we
God.
got more. We can't say what those things are or whatever, but just
I'm sure we'll have plenty of teasers.
Zombies map.
Yeah.
Zombies map.
All right. Well, then let's jump into tuning pass stuff. So, in addition to Operation 3, there's plenty of updates planned for tomorrow. We will have some stuff to talk about a little bit later on the Blackout front with multiplayer. What's in store?
Well, so we put the balance changes that we're doing out actually on Friday, so they're out there. Some people may have seen them, you may not. So you can check out the Reddit blog post.
Lots
to
of
that.
changes. They're
And of
basically
course, we'll go
touching
over to
every
highlight
weapon
Reddit
in the
and go
game.
through every single change.
Every
But
weapon.
Really, the way we've actually for weapon balance, from how we look at it in the analytics and data, it's actually the best it's been in a game at this time in the past. few
Bold
months.
to assume.
So we've been a little bit hands off, but at
Bold.
the same time, we want to freshen the game up. We
Titan.
want to address the issues that the community
Sog.
has been talking about.
Spitfire.
And really, this game we're taking more of an approach.
Yeah,
of
best balance.
community focus.
Best balance.
More focus on the community
Yeah, you're
feedback
good.
than just kind of data driven.
Yeah.
And we want to hear what people have to say. We want to hear what their take on the various issues of the game are, and that's been actually really successful. And it's been great to get all the feedback from the community. So we've been reaching out a lot, and so that helped inform on kind of not just like what we do exactly, but how we do it, or just getting extra opinions on this pass.
Has the community of fans had much feedback?
Yeah, well, it's great. It's more data really, like
Yeah.
every single. But we get to read it individually and kind of there's sometimes a little bit of detail that's hidden can actually be a gem of insight. You never know where it might come from. So one thing that we heard a lot of, number one, was the Titan. That was the number one piece of feedback. We got. A lot of people love using the Titan, but it's as far as our.
Oh yeah, everybody
goes,
likes using it. No one likes dying
there's,
to it though.
People
Let's be honest.
aren't
Here.
quite happy with where it's at right now. So we're going to make some adjustments to that, bring the Titan kind of where players' expectation is for it, and we're doing that by a couple different ways. Really, it's about making it feel fair in a heads-up gunfight. So
I would
you have
hope
a good
so.
chance against it, and also some players have we've had the issue of it taking down score streaks a little too quickly, so we're taking down its ability to do that a little bit.
Double
Still gonna be strong.
FMJ.
We want to keep the core feel.
Double
That's important.
FMJ,
That's
what's the
still
sniper
still
called?
Powerful.
Fucking
So the Titan was
Paladin.
kind of the first one from the community perspective, and it matched up what we were seeing.
Destroys
So
everything
that
in
was-
like a
that was
few
an easy one
shots.
to knock out.
Kind of ridiculous.
If I'm not mistaken, there were a couple, and this kind of gets us into sort of the competitive feature set. There were a couple updates made to
League
weapons,
play.
that sort of, we wanted to make sure that we got out in front of this week's CWL action as well. And it's probably worth mentioning as we kind of head into these updates that League play goes live on Thursday.
Yes.
So.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, the league play's going live.
So SOG 9, what else is?
So I mean, this will affect. Now talking about assault rifles and
Excuse
SMGs kind of as a class, right?
Yeah.
Because it all kind of ties in together. That's going to affect the majority of players right there between those two classes. So we really wanted to get the balance right within those classes. We like how
Boys,
many.
look at this.
There's about 4
Look
to
at
3
this
or
woods
so,
right here.
ARs to SMGs. We like that balance. That's
Absolute
good,
lad.
good for players. But within the class, we're seeing like too many Spitfires, right, or too many SOGs. And then on the AR side,
really,
Maddoxes. And when we also see that mirrored in the public match and the competitive play, that's when it's a sign that there might be a problem there. We feel like we're really getting it right when the pros are using different guns than are popular in pubs, because that means those are the skill-based guns. So that's where we like to be, ideally. And we see that with some guns, like the ICR, for example, is really popular with the pros. So when it comes to that, we took that pass to balance across those classes. And there was an opportunity there as well to address some feedback that was coming straight from the pros, specifically on the SOG. So the pros are so good that they can notice when the speed gets a little bit too fast for when it starts to mess with their gun mechanics. And the SOG is actually having that issue with its base movement speed, with its stock movement speed, and we're getting direct feedback. So there's a whole loop of things that the pros know more about there. And we wanted to address that. So we took down the speeds of the SOG down to a reasonable amount for an SMG. Actually, as a gun, it was faster than all the other SMGs, which was something we were toying with this archetype. It doesn't need that in order to be good, so we're going to bring that back down. That's also going to help with the overall pacing of the game for competitive and pubs. So that's really mainly, the SOG was mainly about its speed. Other than that, it's going to play very much the same. So when we take the SOG down a little bit, we have to think about the next gun that all the pros and players have been gravitating towards, which is the Maddox.
Spitfire.
That gun's kind of been sucking players in towards it over time. We're seeing more and more players move towards it. So in order to stem that off, make sure that it doesn't become a one-gun meta in the pro or the public scene, we want to take the Maddox down a little bit, and as well elevate some of the other.
That was a big problem in Black Ops 3, especially. Like every pro game was just VMP,
more guns that are
M8,
in,
SVG.
and public.
All right. We've got Miles in a pre-recorded segment kind of walking us through Casino and Lockup in greater detail. Before we kick it off to Miles, is there anything else that you guys wanted to cover?
Let's go!
On the MP front?
I mean, I can touch on the just kind of additional tuning with score streaks.
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
I don't want to say that Tony's FMJ2 was preventing devastating score streaks, but we came to an agreement. No, I mean, it's a good point. You know, Tony, Kevin, and myself kind of looked at you know, very specific, what is FMJ2 doing to certain vehicles? So we've increased some vehicle health, like the Stray Front, for example. On the Stray Front again, it
Stray Front definitely needed a buff.
So we're doing a big buff pass more than anything for the score streaks. We made the cost adjustments earlier.
I don't know if the helicopter or the
so
drone squad need a buff. Drone squad's still ridiculous.
That I've seen some positive feedback on was that score streak kills in modes with friendly fire, hardcore.
Yeah, that was rough.
Those won't actually contribute towards the team kill kick limit. There's, you know, a lot of times that you're afraid to call Stray Front in hardcore because it could potentially get you kicked. So we're you know, that's one of those times where we've kind of held sacred to that, and you know what, we're gonna make a change there, and so you're not gonna get kicked with score streak kills after tomorrow. There may be some additional, you know, punishments needed there if it becomes a problem, but we're gonna put that out and see how that goes. So,
great.
Overall, just a few buffs here and there for score streaks. So
good to hear. Good to hear.
That's gonna be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Then on the specialist side as well, we got a few changes coming in. Consistent feedback we've been getting, things we've been feeling here in the studio. Some of the specialist abilities that are getting more and more play, that there's not enough counterplay there. So we're focusing on making sure you can counter the abilities that are frustrating you. So 9-bang, we got a couple new ways.
9-bang needs to get
that. You can change stances, you can see a little bit better through it. You won't put the tactical mask because it can be more effective counter. The seeker drone getting very popular. That's gonna if you shoot that thing with the shot, you're gonna be able to take it out. Thing small enough, it should go down.
That's
to a
good.
bullet. That's how we felt.
That's good. Should just be like an RCXC, just one bullet.
Counter, so that's
done.
That's one of the changes too. And of course, we have Outrider coming in, who's really going to mix up the whole specialist meta. So we got to see how she comes in, where the cards fall.
Yeah.
She's just been a lot of fun to develop. She's kind of actually been easy to develop because she's just been really fun right out of the gate. We just make tweaks, and everyone's been enjoying playing with her. And I think the secret.
Thank
to
God,
that
because
is
Zero is not fun to play at
super
all.
Satisfying to use. It's got a scope on it now. You can get a long range. You get that zoom. And it's just overall more polished and smooth than it's been before. But her Hawk drone is so satisfying to use. You really get a different gameplay flow and pace to throw out your drone, fly it around, pilot it to just wherever you want, which based on the game mode or the map or your play style, you can
that's
use
really
it differently depending on any of those. And not only that, but you put it there, and now the enemies actually have a really interesting way to interact with that. It's super satisfying to see an outrider flying her camera around, and you shoot it out of the sky, right? So there's some good back and forth there. She's fun to play. She's also just as fun to fight against.
Cool. All right. Again, just to kind of reiterate, we've got the blog post for Operation 3 that has gone live this morning on Treyarch.com. You can find it there with the roadmap.
So many changes.
For the entire operation.
This game is not even going to be the same after
unfortunately,
this update.
our producer
It's
Miles
crazy.
Leslie was not able to join us today, but we did have a chance to catch up with him the other day, and we were able to tape a segment for him to talk us through Casino and Lockup.
Nice.
The 2 multiplayer maps that you'll get with Operation 3 and the Black Ops Pass. And with that, we'll throw it back over to Miles. Miles, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us about the multiplayer maps coming in Operation 3. As people watch this, it'll be coming out tomorrow on Tuesday. High level, what's coming in Grand Heist?
There's a lot of content, so
Yeah.
with the empty map specifically,
Jesus.
2 brand new experiences that we're super excited to talk about with Lockup and then Casino, and then all of the, different weapons and the Warzone, the blackout changes that we've got coming out. There's just a lot going on in the Grand Heist. And
Warzone?
really to do with the operations in Grand Heist and with
Ooh, was that?
previous Absolute Zero, really try to wrap
Hold
it
on.
in something. And
So way back in a Vonderhart interview, they said he said they had a different name for it, but Activision made him choose Blackout. I think Warzone might have been it. I think this man just slipped up.
that is being robbed, so it feels like it fits perfectly.
Well, I mean, the team has always done a pretty amazing job with sort of the depth of the lore for their multiplayer maps. Give us the backstories on Lockup and Casino. What are we getting ourselves into?
Lots of things, lots of trouble. So we'll start with Lockup, which is really
Look at
cool
this.
and
Oh,
different. We did it
man.
on a police station, and it really started from this idea of. So we talk about verticality, and we've had verticality in maps, and even if you go to Elevation, which we just released previously, is
Right.
where we really wanted to get high to low consistent fighting. Give you examples. We wanted a team to have to own a roof, right? We wanted to have to king of the hill. We've never kind of done that before, and this idea started to just kind of flow as like, hey, this police station could work where, bad guys have taken over, they've attacked the police station, and they kind of owned the roof. And now it's about attacking the roof in lots of different ways. So
Cool.
the hook of that really is getting on the roof and the verticality to and from it. Switching to Casino, which is drastically different, is while there is some verticality.
God, I wish
the
Treyarch
main
level
thing is
designers
the
made
entire
siege
center
maps.
of the map is one continuous open space. So it feels super grand and epic. The map is fairly large overall, and the rooms are connected, so it feels very different because there's a lot of long range, but there's also ducking and weaving behind slot machines and roulette tables is really embellishing and using a lot of things in the map.
Well, I know the team has been really kind of exploring a lot of different types of gameplay, introducing some new game modes. To what extent have game modes really kind of inspired sort of design and the look and feel of some of these maps?
Yeah, it's interesting because we know objective gameplay is going to focus, right? And TDM is super popular, so we always start with TDM as just like general flow and engagements is without having to go anywhere. Am I going to want to go find you? Am I going to want to go hunt you down? Or am I going to want to sit here? Is that okay? Is that not okay? So we start with TDM, as the base game mode, and then get the kind of foundation down, and then we'll start, let's start playing Dom, because then it's really going to anchor the middle, right, where that ends up, because not always is in the middle. Side lanes, hardpoint, obviously, because you're going to get the entire.
I can't wait to play
overall,
hardpoint
and
on
then you
that
start
police
peppering
map.
in all
Sounds
the
so
search
much
and
fun.
destroy, everything else. They really do influence it, and we really try to make the right changes per game mode, and that's come through. If we talk about Lockup, is we tried a lot of different Dom spots specifically, and it's in the middle, right? So you've got this roof basically, and there's these large windows, and you're looking down, and it can feel like a death pit, though there's a lot of ways to kind of get these guys out of the roof. And it feels like it's once you actually take the B flag, it's like a sense of accomplishment that I think other B flags may not have had in the past. And we're really trying to push that as a sense of like,
Interesting.
did it, right? Like we did it, right? Like, hey, Torque, good job with the the barricade and the spawn beacon back over there. Is like there's a sense of let's use all of the things to really have to accomplish this goal.
Well, I think you've started getting into my next question. It's like, if I'm a fan of Treyarch map design, like what are you showing me? What are you giving me that I haven't gotten before?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, we always start with our 3-lane base design, and that's the foundation because we know that that's a jumping off point. But with every new DLC map, we want to push it further. So this verticality in roof is really, really different. You really need to take the roof to be successful.
Okay.
And it's the central building, and there's lots of ways up, and there's other roofs that shoot to it as well. And
oh,
you're
cool.
leading in and through the police station as well. And it's all in chaos, by the way, because it's been under attack. Basically, these you know, high criminals have basically attacked the police station overall and just caused destruction. But the gameplay is really interesting because a lot of the side lanes have a lot of opportunities for longer range, or you can try to be sneaky as well and use some of the verticality to take down the dudes on the roof. And one of the cool sort of elements with the roof is it's a one-way drop. So if you drop into the building, you can't get back up unless you're ruined. So there's a commitment there that we kind of haven't had before. Is like, if I go down, I'm not going to be able to get back up, and there's a sense of like, am I leaving the power position? But it's also a cool bail because you get that like blockbuster movie moment where you're like, hey, I got to get out of here, and you're jumping out of the window, right? So there's some cool stuff there.
Nice. Well,
that sounds really cool. Sounds
some,
really cool, honestly.
Casino too.
I feel like Ruin's going to be really strong in that map,
the other
though.
day, we were kind of talking about some of the map stuff, and you had mentioned in passing that you've been involved with, like, in development about 200 maps single-handedly. All right.
No, there are lots of them. To be clear, lots of people work on these.
I was joking. But like, I mean, you've seen some maps.
I've seen some maps.
And
yes.
Casino's got some new twists and turns.
It does. This I can say is, you know, it's true. I have worked on multiplayer since World at War and been involved in MP and really, you know, been involved with the team on crafting all these. And Casino's actually the hardest map I can say I've ever made. And
really?
We went through a lot of iterations. Where
Why is that? What made it such a creative challenge?
We really wanted to like challenge ourselves, and even with the, you know, you talk about 3 lanes and
okay.
As a foundation is how do we make it feel very, very different? And we wanted a larger map, but also a sense of the lanes aren't separated, right? So the middle is all one central. I'm showing it now. So there's one central, you know, lane that actually feels like, you know, it could almost encompass 3 lanes basically. We've given you ways as you head down through these slot machines in the central bar.
It looks super cool, dude. Oh my god.
Way towards this bar that you can hold down, and then move
first
into
time I've been
some
excited for
side rooms that
multiplayer
have
maps
some of the
probably
more
since
tables
Black
and
Ops
poker
3.
tables and stuff like that. But the main thing is
These
that
look sick.
It's really large, and basically on each side of the middle lane is like, it's long range here, or you can rotate around the bar and it's shorter range. So we've never had within a single lane this way to like quickly maneuver in and out of short and long.
Yeah.
And the ranges are really long. It's very different, and that caused a huge challenge to us because trying to really embellish the environment and use those elements has been proved to be very difficult. Like slot machines, right? They're not built to be used as cover, right? And set up good engagements, or, you know, craps tables or roulette tables is like, how do you use those things? Because if not, you're not doing justice to the casino element.
Right.
So we really try to find the right way to do that, and that took a lot of challenge to nail down. Is I think we rebooted this map like 3 times basically.
Damn,
like, okay,
that's crazy, dude.
And then it just
that is awesome. Okay, I'm really excited for that map.
Redo, and that's what we do. But this one has been.
They both seem super sick.
All in all,
super sick.
The team is really resounded to where we're like constantly pushing those, like, it's not good enough, we got to do more, and it's like, okay, let's tackle that challenge in a way.
Yeah. Not really sure why I didn't get the memo, but I mean, when it comes to holding down a bar, I'm your man.
That's okay. We got all the ref from you.
All right. So, I mean, just kind of as we kind of wrap it up, high level, like what do you hope people take away from Lock Up and Casino?
Yeah, the main thing there is I hope people, when they dive in, really get the sense of how different these maps are, right?
They seem really different.
It can look more like a standard map in that sense, but there's so many little, you know, twists and turns and different experiences that you can have that it's really going to encourage you and in a way force you, like we were talking about making that choice on the roof, to play differently. And I think that's the main thing we're really trying to go
excited for that.
You could play a lot of the maps how you want to play, right? Like, I'm a creature of habit. I love my creative class. I love my setup, and you know, you could do that in these maps and be successful. But if you learn the environment and you learn the engagements and you learn some of these really different things you've got and start changing your play style and using the different weapons and equipment, you're going to be even more successful. And that's kind of that, like, you know, that that feeling we want is like, okay, I tried something new, that worked, okay, this worked, and you know, it's almost like you would have classes per map, right? Is like, oh, this is casino, let me have this loadout. Oh, this is, you know, lockup, let me have this. That's the main thing, is this feeling of it's very different, but it still obviously feels very Treyarch and Black Ops 4 overall.
Nice.
Happy about that.
Nice.
I'm
Thank you
so
very
excited
much.
to play those maps tomorrow, dude. They seem super sick.
That segment with Miles may have been pre-recorded, but right now I am here live and in the flesh.
Yo!
Not
Jason
holograms.
and Craig to catch up on all things zombies. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hey, John.
Hey, John, it's good to be here.
All right, so
What is this
for
shirt?
zombies. In today's blog post,
The
we mentioned
fuck?
that there's a new experience coming in March, which we'll get to in a moment. But we've got some we've got the name to reveal. We've got some stuff for today.
Some stuff.
So
Let's go, boys!
To kind of recap a little bit where we're up to.
I like where you're going. It's like you're in my head
yeah,
thinking my
yeah,
thoughts. Go with that.
See that? That was me transmitting the idea to
it
you,
worked.
John. So,
Please
you know,
talk about
obviously,
Ether.
you know, with,
Please. I just
launch
want to know
of
what's
Black Ops
going
4,
on.
We've kind of had more maps than we've ever had at this stage. So it's, you know, been really funny that we had our 2 Chaos maps at launch and our 2 Ether maps. And then we had the Dead of the Night, which is a little bit of a palate cleanser, but now it's time to announce that after all the craziness that the characters went through in Voyage,
I
Lord
thought they were going to
Despair,
talk about
and
Ether.
9,
Oh,
they are now going to be going somewhere else, and that is going to be the focus of our next map. Now, what's fun about this is, with all those launch maps, things were a little bit crazy for the characters and the community, but now those guys know what's going on a little bit more, so they are going somewhere new, somewhere they're already on the journey to, and people have seen the outros will have an idea about this. We are going to Greece, and we are specifically going to Delphi.
okay, good.
Delphi! What do you know about Delphi, Jason?
It's in Greece.
It is. Right.
Jason!
More facts about that coming up.
It's called expert knowledge.
But what, now that people and the characters understand the rules of the Chaos story a little bit more, we're going to do something interesting here, because we are actually going to be visiting a world where a Sentinel trial has been running
What
for
is
a
that?
very, very, very long time. Because as some people will discover, Sentinel trials tend to end when they are completed or when everybody dies. So in our new level, there are some other characters knocking about,
Yes.
and you're going to have to find out about them and what role they play. and why this
Richtofen
trial is
just
continuing
shows up.
where it's ultimately going to lead them.
Because all our previous maps, we saw the trial
Oh,
start.
yeah.
So this is the first one where this trial's been running, as Craig said, for a very long time.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
So in addition to we.
I'm into
teased
it.
the key art this morning. We've got an image of that
already?
that Tommy can throw up, but we also have a name.
There we
Ancient
lovely.
Evil.
Boom.
That looks sick,
Ancient
though.
Evil.
Ancient Evil.
Ancient Evil.
Dude.
A long time.
Oh, that looks super cool.
We're like, how do we hint to the
Get
audience?
the thesaurus out, Jason.
Yes. Ancient Evil.
So yeah, as I say, this one is it's the kind of map that I really like, where there's a lot of
The name's a
events
little,
and characters and significant
Art looks sick.
story shifts within the map. I mean, going back to what we we're talking about before, you know, there's some things hanging over our characters. If you saw the outros of Voyage of Despair,
Little
and,
bit.
9, and all of
Bruno?
those things will come into play. You know, people they've been under the influence of drugs, but some of them, as players will know, are also under the influence of some other forces, and all of that is gonna
Bruno?
come to bear in Ancient Evil.
So I believe that there's a little bit of news that you wanted to share in terms of sort of the twisting and turning of the storyline and sort of where it's headed.
Please talk about Ether.
This map represents the last map of the Chaos story for this season. So
Jason, where are you going with this?
So
What could it mean?
So
Boys!
this is the cliffhanger here.
Maybe a step too far, but it's cool. That's just
He can go higher in pitch if he tries. So this is
I'm on the wrong paths
this is the last one of the Chaos story for this season.
for this season.
Hold on.
So the next two, so going into our DLC 3 and DLC 4, will be back to the Ether story.
You know how
Suck
you
me!
often said we like to have our cake and eat it. It's nice the fact that we're going to have a kind of nice even split, 4 and 4
Yep.
between
Thank
Ether and
you.
Chaos.
Holy shit.
Because we still enjoy them.
Yeah, we like
very
our
much.
cake and eat it, and a
Yes.
small cake factory on the side
And
as
a
well.
second cake.
Jesus
right.
Christ.
So there's all of that cake coming in March.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't any updates. Double negative. Sorry. There are updates coming tomorrow when
Cupcakes.
We got some updates coming tomorrow.
We're just going to shout bakery things out.
DEFCON 5, go.
DEFCON 5,
Gauntlet.
New gauntlet.
That's
for
what I'm
Class
excited
5.
for, boys.
And then we also have a new.
That's what I like to hear.
Blood of the Dead as well, which is Helcatraz. Interesting little story there. Helcatraz was actually the dev name of Mob of the Dead when we first made it, way back when. So we thought as a little homage.
That's
we
cute.
Would,
And I managed ourselves.
yeah, there's actually a picture of sitting around the office that says Helcatraz that we mocked up when we were thinking of Mob of the Dead in the very beginning. So
Oh, that's a cool challenge.
Of the gauntlets, but
Yeah.
one of the things that appeals to me about the gauntlets, and I think I've made no mistake about not being a particularly good player, I'm not as bad as sometimes we've said. But the fun thing about the gauntlets is Jason's nodding, that's not fair.
New perk, boys,
The fun
new
thing
perk.
about the gauntlets is it does let people experience some of the features and bosses and enemies and stuff that they normally wouldn't get to in the course of amateur play, shall we say. So, you know, it can really help educate you about a level as well. So that's one of the fun things I like about gauntlets.
Yeah, and it's, you know, so when we first brought Gauntlets out, we didn't know how it was going to be received, and we got an overwhelming kind of positive response in terms of people like mixing up the gameplay. So
Absolutely, Gauntlet is amazing for the most part.
To that feedback, and so those are in Helcatraz and in DEFCON 5. But
I'm
yeah,
surprised
it's
DEFCON
really
5 is
good for
coming out
beginners, but it'll
first.
teach you
I think
out
they're
a
trying to
level,
push
you know,
that
hey,
Black
tell you
Ops
about a shield,
pass.
tell you about certain weapons and usage. Then it's also good for advanced players because it tests you in different ways as you get further up. And obviously it's same as last time, which is 3 sets
You
of
can only do things while
10
sliding.
levels
That's
each
cool.
to get all the way through a gauntlet.
Look at that knife. It's like an elemental.
Razor perk coming
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Great name.
Yeah.
Hold
Literally
on.
Hours were spent on that name.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'll leave it for the community to discover, but essentially it's a perk which has a buff to your knife or to your melee weapon, and
Hold on.
it allows you to gain health when attacking the undead.
I feel like this is an
if
homage to
I
the
also
original
believe that you've
Origins
got,
elemental knife
plans to
glitch.
support signature
Low
weapons
key.
and throwing in some additional tier skips along the way.
Yes. So
Oh, good.
Let's start with tier skip. So tier skip currently, if you've played to round 15 on a daily basis, you get the tier skip. Now in this next update, daily callings will also give you that tier skip. So that'll be 2 tier skips.
Yeah, I don't know why it
per
wasn't
day.
like that
That's a
before.
mouthful.
That makes a lot of sense.
Is 2 tier skips now possible from the Friends of the Zombies? Yeah.
That's cool.
So
And signature weapons as well. They're coming in.
shortly we will have David Vonderhaar and Matt Schrantz on to talk all things Blackout. And we've got a special video that we want to share with anyone. What would you guys like to, anything that you'd like
Come
to
on,
wrap
trailer,
up on
trailer,
before updates
come on.
tomorrow,
Trailer!
is to
Come
come
on!
March. And if not, what are we going to watch?
So I'll
More things coming.
more things
coming.
Yes, more
Always.
things going. I think we've got blogs and other things kind of that'll. I don't want to spill all the beans right now.
Spill them!
So I'll leave that alone.
Sure.
But the
Fuck.
video coming up is our director's music video that we always do.
Oh, yay.
for
That's
Dead of the
good.
Night.
Oh, good. Good, good.
With the cast and just some of the ideas in it. It's one of my favorite.
When are we
ones
gonna
to
get
play.
into
I
live
like
stream?
following ghosts around, which is why I work so closely with Jason.
There we go. There we go.
So yeah, it's kind of it's full rock and roll.
Can we get a
Alright,
trailer for...
outstanding. Well,
What's the new
and
map
on
called?
that
I fucking
note,
forget.
We
Ancient
will
Evil.
Throw it to Dead of the Night.
Yay! Alright, cool. Cool. It's a dope song, too. Nice. Treyarch's really bringing it back, man. They're bringing it back! Oh my god. It's a miracle. Ooh, I like those. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Nice! This is cool. Oh! Aw, such a cool Easter egg. Favorite weapon, by the way. Oh. Ooh. It's honestly got to be one of my favorite maps. It's so good. Man, these director's cuts are so good, dude. Oh, that's a nice shot. Oh! Oh, Godfrey, you motherfucker. Ooh! That was cool. Oh! Godfrey, you bitch. Ah! Oh, cool. Oh, there he goes. He's writing the letter. Oh! Ooh! Oh! Hope this isn't copyright. Oh shit! Godfrey lives, boys. Oh, what was that? Nice. Oh! Ah, nice. Oh shit, Godfrey! See, this is why we need those trailers. Gets everyone hyped and everyone loves them, dude.
To keep the
Fuck!
conversation rolling on all things
Hell yeah!
3 Grand Heist with a focus on Blackout is David Vonderhaar
Right.
and Matt Schranz.
So I just want to talk about, because we pretty much know everything about Blackout, but I'll turn it on in a minute. So, in that trailer, it showed the Order killing Godfrey, right? And then they showed him using the Scepter of Ra on Godfrey and kind of like bringing him back to life as a part of the Order. So I'm starting to think maybe the Scepter of Ra has some sort of ability to do that, which is really cool. So, I mean, that's obviously in our loadout, possibly part of the Easter egg in the next map.
That's sitting at 80 star, wondering what to do next.
Yeah.
That's coming. And then there's a lot of
sick.
folks who are not there. So there's a
Prestige,
big chasm
prestige.
gap between the folks
In
sitting at
Blackout.
the top
That's
and the
good.
folks not. So for the folks sitting at the top, you're going to be able to prestige. It's the 10 levels of prestige, but it's also more than that because the Paragon levels make
Those
their
look
way into
cool.
Blackout. So you're going to be able to play forever. On top of that, though, let's talk about the folks that are not quite there yet. The guys sitting at 35 and 45.
Hey guys,
Feeling like
it's
hard to
me.
advance. So this was a design decision that we made pretty early on to only reward kills and placements at the high end because that's the core of that mode. But we're loosening that up so that there'll be more placements kind of below that. So for example, in quads it's pretty much the same. The top 50% of the players will be able to advance. But solo players and duo players gets lots of love right now because those players, that 50% of them will now also be able to advance, get merits for placement. So we sort of push the placements down further. That covers the two things.
Cool.
Maybe even more importantly than that, which is a little harder to understand, sort of if you just look at it, is the Blackout merit system has everything multiplied by 10. And what that lets us do is create more merits to give out in more situations to more people more of the time. If you only give out 1 merit for something, it's hard to give out a half a merit for something. So 1 becomes 10 and 100 becomes 1,000, right? And that kind of system change allows us to do other things, especially in other kinds of game modes, where we can give away more merits for different types of activities related to that featured playlist. So those are the 3 major changes going on there in the nutshell version.
All right. One of the things that
I'm happy about more merits. It's hard.
One of the things that Dan talked about at the front end is that all of the content that was illustrated in the roadmap that we shared this morning isn't necessarily available on day one. A great example of that is Hot Pursuit, new game mode coming within Blackout.
I'm
coming
super
out on
excited for
Friday.
that.
Yep, Friday.
Hot Pursuit. What do we need to know?
It is hot, and there will be pursuit.
Sick.
No, it's so it's a super fun game mode. With our past game modes, close quarters frenzy, ambush has been a variant. It's still very slow. The gameplay is still there from Blackout, but with this, we kind of want to say, we said, how can we have more fun? How can we fit the theme of this cops and robbers Operation Grand Heist?
How did you?
So we've been working on brand new vehicles, and they're going to be highlighted in Hot Pursuit. First up are the police vehicles.
I hope they're in
police
regular
SUV.
Blackout too.
We've got the PBR boat, and then we've got some other vehicles that the players already used, and those are going to have police skins in Hot Pursuit. And when you hop into a police vehicle, whether it be an SUV or an ATV or PBR, you're going to have some inherent benefits that are going to feed into that game mode. So police vehicles, first up, they're going to have a built-in sensor dart. That's one of those things where from the early days of
that's
Blackout, we
cool.
saw players shooting their vehicle with a sensor dart. So let's build that in for this game mode. It makes perfect sense. So
That makes
when
that's
you're cruising
awesome.
around in a police vehicle with your sirens on, you're going to get the benefit of a sensor dart. So you're going to be able to move through and kind of root out
Cool.
the bad guys. On top of that,
At great penalty, I mean, the siren's not exactly quiet.
the sirens are not quiet. So if you want,
that's fun. That's
that's
move.
what we call risk
That's
reward
really
jump.
cool.
So
If you could show me like in shapes, maybe scratch and sniff, that would be great. 'Cause, like I'm like pretty baseline.
We'll check it out after.
Okay.
So in addition to that, the police vehicles will also see enemy muscle cars marked.
So
So
cool.
that marking is going to be a red beam shooting up from the sky, which is super cool. You hop into a police vehicle and you just look around, and you're going to see all these bad guys marked by the beams. You want to go chase those guys.
Brutus.
The muscle cars
That's
also have
sick.
inherent benefits, and their benefit is they're going to be on the lookout for loot, high-value loot. And so their benefit is
Cool.
they're going to get the same marking, but a green beam, and that's going to mark every single supply drop and supply stash that's currently active in the level. And we've taken a lot of the high-value loot, level 3 armor, trauma kit, tactical weapons, operator weapons, gold weapons, and those are only going to be found in supply drops and stashes. So if you want that good stuff, you're going to want to grab a muscle car, head to the nearest supply drop or stash, and get that out of there. In playtesting, the fun, the laughs, the chuckles that we've heard most is when you're chasing each other around. So the police vehicles are on the hot pursuit of the muscle cars, who are then looking for the loot. We're kind of working off a variation of down but not out respawn rules.
Cool.
So if you have a teammate alive at the next collapse, you're going to be able to redeploy. With this, we kind of looked at that, and we saw it can be tough to drop into the last circle with a strife pistol. So we're going to try what we're calling escalating loadouts, and those loadouts will escalate per circle or per collapse.
Cool.
So you may start out with a strife and some ammo, and if you get the chance to drop in the final collapse, you may get a little bit better of a loadout. So that's going to be where you're going to end up dropping in with an SMG, maybe some armor, just because we know it can be more difficult in those final minutes to really compete with enemies that are on the ground. So it's super interesting, super fun, and we've been having a blast with it.
And throws the rules of a Blackout kind of experience and turns them inside out, where you're getting more stronger the longer you go. It's
fun.
It's fun.
Well, I mean,
Good diversion from the core.
just riff on that for a minute, because it seems like, and you mentioned down but not out, and it seems like between what the team has been doing in Operation 2, what's planned with Hot Pursuit, seems like new game modes are an opportunity to kind of play in new and inventive ways.
Yeah, I think what you'll see, sort of operation to operation, every operation has kind of a core theme to it. This one, Operation Grand Heist, you have cops and robbers, so you see a lot of cops and robbers related activity across MP and Blackout. So that one has this mode. Other future operations will also have its core theme or core idea, so it'll have its kind of crazy new take on a game mode. Yep. But it's not just the one that you get kind of the first couple days of the operation. There's some other activities around there, hardcore, and some other thoughts that were going on. So we're going to keep the pure game mode evolving, right? The pure base, battle royale experience that people know. But we're also going to constantly try to put the feature playlist in, including the feature playlist that you've seen. So it's not just about Grand Heist. It'll also be about Down But Not Out. It'll also be about Ambush. It'll also be about all the things that you sort of create along the way and the combinations of them. So as we build up this library, like Matt said, we actually get to take some of the rules from one and apply them to the other, and then everything kind of just gets faster and better as a result of the continued involvement and progress that we're making, to allow different types of game modes to be played inside of the Blackout map. One day, Who knows what's possible?
Anything's possible. Well, I'm sure that our good friend Ben Lewis will have plenty of updates on the Reddit machine tomorrow. Along with that, I'm sure there'll be a number of sort of updates in terms of quality of life. You guys have been busy on that front as well.
So nothing is more important to fans than the quality of life improvements, at least when they hit me up directly. So there's a couple of things that are going to make it in right off the bat, and more still in the way. So the three that are probably worth kind of mentioning right off the bat is, if you remember the new the stash UI, what we call the supply stash or the death stash UI, when there's an item in the stash, it only shows up once. It doesn't show up like a frag, a frag, a frag. It shows a frag with 3 pips on it.
Right.
So that idea has been carried over to the quick equip menu. So when you're pressing up on the D-pad to kind of select something quickly, you don't have to burn the space of it 3 times. You only have to burn the space of it once. That just makes everything a little bit faster. So that idea has now evolved into the quick equip working the same way. That's one. The one that I think fans will be super excited about is when you go to get a gun, you can strip the attachments off that gun immediately and then put them on the gun that you have. So that's a big
Apex
change.
Legends.
Which of us does not strip the tactical to put all that stuff on the gun that we're using? We pretty much all do that. So now you can just do that, and you can do that with any gun.
Nice.
Anything that's not compatible will just kind of drop to the ground around you. So that's a big change.
Nice.
And then the other one that I like is you can actually now equip something when you pick it up immediately for both equipment and for health items. So if there's a big med kit on the ground of some type, or maybe an axe, you can just grab it and it's in your inventory, so you can throw it and grab it and throw it and grab it. Right? You don't have to grab it, go into inventory, go up to quick equip. All that's now one action. So those 3
That's
things
so nice.
are the sort of the significant ones that players will be able to feel kind of right away on Tuesday, and then some more that we're still experimenting with in the quick equip for potentially downstream in the season.
And along with that, there are some tuning updates that you guys have planned as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like MP, we've got a big list of tuning updates, weapon balance
DJ Vaughn!
based off of data, based off of feedback. One that I'll mention that's come up a lot in feedback is the ABR. ABR is a great weapon in Blackout. We definitely saw its popularity rise a bit with our previous armor tuning. So that one's going to get a little bit of a change. I believe on that one we've increased the recoil just a touch, and we've increased the delay between bursts just a touch again. So we don't want to swing too hard. I think we did that with the SDM. Sometimes we can look at the data and you get a lot of feedback and kind of overshoot that. So we've made some micro changes, taken a look at the data, and I think everybody's gonna. It's not. I wouldn't say a huge meta shift, but some of those weapons that you have been carrying, you may want to look at something else. For example, light machine guns. That's a big change for us. It is.
I feel like light machine guns aren't very big.
Aren't
very big in Blackout.
You kind of look at that journey. So over the past 2 weeks, we've got a lot of feedback about everybody's driving ATVs, running people over. We don't want that to happen. Vehicles are for traversing the map. We don't want them to be primarily used as offensive weapons. But we don't want.
That's all I have. That's
all
I got going for me, man.
No, you can still try.
Then you should play Hot Pursuit. No, but that said, it's still a part of Blackout. You can still get ran over.
So what are you doing with the LMGs?
So with LMGs, we were like, you know what? We don't want these to be laser weapons. We don't want everybody to be rolling around with LMGs. What can we do?
I never felt like that was a problem. I don't know.
Unique benefits. So they're actually going to do double damage against vehicles.
Oh, okay, against vehicles.
So,
I was like,
for example,
holy
a Titan
shit!
in Blackout may take
That's gonna be terrifying.
Today 40 bullets to take out an ATV or a helicopter. It's going to come down to 20. So those VKM 750s and those Titans that you leave laying around, you may want to pick up one of those and keep it handy.
You want to. I mean, the meta changes over time, right? So we think it's so important that there are fast-moving vehicles in the map. That's what the ATV is for. The ATV is not necessarily supposed to be used predominantly as a weapon. And it was really Ambush, I think, where we started to sort of see that kind of behavior come out. It's not unexpected in a mode like that, but then that becomes sort of the part of the new meta. And that's the fun thing about working on Blackout is the meta is changing all the time. What was super viable yesterday was not viable 10 days ago, and vice versa and in the future. So you have to constantly evolve with the times with that stuff. So now there's multiple counters to vehicles, and the weapon tuning is kind of an unusual place to go look. But now an LMG, which most of us would probably pass over most of the time if you look at the data, if you look at how we play, you look at how you play, But now you hold an LMG as a secondary, and it's on par or better than a rocket launcher as a secondary, on par or better than a ballistic shield as a primary equipment, on par or better than mesh mines as an anti-vehicle device. Now there's like 4 different ways, alternative, and the LMGs are good because once you start using LMGs to blow up vehicles, you're going to start using LMGs to blow up people.
Yeah.
And then this weapon that you're all skipping over most of the time, you're probably not skipping over it quite the same. And that's today. Then there'll be something else, in the next season as the meta evolves and changes, and that's what makes it fun.
No, I'm down for that.
Complicated to keep
down
up
for a
with
little
the
bit
pace
of a
it,
change.
For sure, make no mistake. We know this better
sure.
than anybody, but we're not done trying, and this is one way. Just removing the ATVs is not a solution. Their start speeds, potentially other things that we've looked at, including fuel, potentially. I'm not saying so. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do quite yet. We talk about these things all the time. We're listening to what you're saying about that. We're looking for interesting ways to solve those problems, not just the really obvious way, which is to delete everything, right?
Fuel.
Delete everything, you have nothing left.
Yep. And then additionally for LMGs, since we're on that topic, they're all going to have a little bit less recoil. So they'll be slightly less frustrating to use against infantry. So yeah, I think I'll be picking up a Titan over.
T-minus 1 day until you tell me they're overpowered. One day. 1 day.
Yeah.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it.
You guys are like the best guests ever. Like I just, I mean,
Probably gonna be
when you-
overpowered,
you
but
go-
I'm ready. I'm ready to try them out.
This is
do it.
Warzone.
No.
I did that for the tweet earlier. All right, let's move on.
So it is
Alright.
Warzone.
One more on tuning, because it's a big one, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of feedback. Hopefully, all positive.
Armor.
Hopefully,
Armor.
undoubtedly.
We gotta talk about armor.
We've touched armor a few times. Armor's a new thing for us. Levels of armor, blackout's a new thing for us. So
Oh,
we're
David,
still trying
you
to
silly
dial
goose.
that in.
What would you do, Matt?
Well, for this title update, we took a look at the data from where we were before our last tuning change to our oh my god, level 1 is paper now. I hear you. I hear you.
Level 1 is paper.
And you know what? Level 1, looking at the data, the curves of our graph of where people were dying previous to the patch to after, you weren't entirely wrong. So we are going to bring up level 1 and level 2.
Cool.
So level 1's going to get a slight bump. Level 2 is actually going to come up to where level 3 is now, as far as damage mitigation.
Holy shit.
Damage mitigation, not durability. Don't confuse the two.
Right. So we flattened.
So many people tweeting me.
We flattened the armor levels.
Thank you.
But now level 3 still has the
Interesting.
inherent mitigation of headshot damage. We've also brought back the armor plates to repair for level 3 armor back down to 5. Now that those are all a little bit more aligned.
Okay.
So
Talk about the shot differential, though, because in the abstract, it can seem like they're super delta, and they're not.
yeah, sure.
Delta.
Before we made our tuning changes, I believe it was 5 shots with an ICR against an unarmored enemy. Still the same, and then it kind of went up from 6 to 8 to 10. So we're slowly flattening that down a bit.
Okay.
And when you just look at that on paper,
That sounds good.
Doesn't seem
I
like a
mean,
huge
armor
change.
in Apex
But
is
depending
like
on the
crazy
range and
good.
If you're using a
So
very,
I don't know. I think
low-powered
like
SMG,
Apex,
it can, those
the way
hits
they
the
did
kill
it in
can jump.
Apex shows me that like they can get armor right in Blackout because Apex is almost perfect with a little bit of tuning. So if they can make armor similar to Apex, I think they can get it right.
All right, David, I believe that you guys have you brought a build with us, and you wanted to jump into some of the new locations.
This is doing a lot of everybody
Let's
else.
go!
Are you sufficiently pumped?
I don't know.
Is that
I'm
what-
steaming? There's steam coming off of me. All right, so what we're gonna do is try this in real time. So
Cool.
yeah, we had one of those fancy fly
What?
videos like MP had, and them slickly produced zombie videos. But no, we're gonna try it the hard way because
I'm
we're doing it
down.
live. So I want to show you this stuff because it's just sort of easier to talk about than watching a video. So can we put this up on the screen and show everybody? That's good. So what you guys are staring at in real time is Ghost Town. Ghost Town is the primary new destination that we've been talking about, and Ghost Town is the combination
Look at that!
of standoff or outlaw, depending on which version you like more from which game. Added to the Blackout map. So let me just show you where this is kind of in context. So I'm
Okay,
down here,
I like that.
Right down here in the southeast corner of the map. Is that right? Yeah. So a significant new destination. And so just give you a sense of scale here. If you ever played Buried from Zombies, then you kind of know what you're staring at.
Cool.
Here. So the mansion on this side,
dope.
and then all the town.
Oh, there's a
Let me
lot
jump
of
to the ground real
Buried.
quick and try to run around a little bit. Just quickly, then I'll fly back out and show you some other things. all this stuff is playable. So all this kind of interior space is all the loot that you'd expect of kind of a primary destination. Has all the kinds of tricks and traps and backsides and flow-throughs and all the things that you would know. And this is all covered up, so you're not going to have anybody dropping on it. The downside of it being underground is that you can't actually just sort of escape through
How the fuck do you get out?
There's no clear way to get back through there. So you're going to have to use one of the many ways to get out, which means the chokes, when you're trying to get in and out of a destination like this, can be pretty severe. There's only sort of 3 primary ways in and out, which means your entrances are not the same things as your exits, and you cannot just sort of surface jump from the top of something and make a run for it in any sort of direction. So this is kind of what, good. Cannot get the dev GUI. Help me out. Yeah, I need some help with that.
Nice.
Thank you. I don't know why the no clip's not working. Amateur hour up in here. So you got Outlaw, you got Standoff on this side of the map.
Cool.
And then the way down into the buried section of Ghost Town is through the jail cell of Outlaw. So you're going to have a lot of fun. This one is particularly my favorite. It's like a one-way kind of slide down this mine shaft, which can be pretty entertaining and choky. So this is a significant destination add. Just to put this in perspective, if you look at the playable space and the amount of interior room and the number of places that things can go, you're talking construction site level spawning of items here. So this will be a pretty fun and pretty insane destination.
Very excited. That looks so cool, dude.
Into the Blackout map. Now, just before we stop on that, there's another thing to talk about. This is not the only thing that we did. So I'm going to show you 3 examples of stuff. So there's things that we've done inside the Blackout map, which we would call completely new. So there's this entire kind of camp section behind where the dam is and where the offices are. So if you look at where I am on the map up here, there's Hydro. This is a very popular drop for myself and Davey in the Bridge Ambush community. Shout out, boys. I'll see you tonight. You got this thing right here, which is where this is. So now you've got pressure on Hydro, not just from the guys who drop short on offices, or the guys coming up from Asylum, but also this whole thing, which is now pretty viable. It's like a decent, viably suitable place to drop.
I like that.
If you're going to be less looted, but then you're going to put pressure on the guys to come in. So that's what we call new, and there's more than one of those. The other one is down here. This is another example of something inside the map that's completely new. But that's not sort of the totality of that story either. Let me go over.
What was that Alcatraz thing, dude? I want to know.
I'm going to come over here and drop what we would probably call, or what you would call, apartments or condos. You remember this section of the map here is typically has been 6 buildings, what we called the 6-pack, or actually that was a term I think you guys picked up, 6-pack, and then we now have it as an 8-pack. So now this is even more viable as a potential first drop, even in a quad game. So you get some pretty fun activity, sort of guys fighting across the street from one another or house to house.
That's cool.
Now there's 8 buildings. So again, you're not going to walk out of here completely
Where's
looted up with the quad
Alcatraz?
game, but you're definitely walking out of here in a duo game and a solo game super looted up. So that's what we would call expanded. So you have new, which are destinations which didn't exist, sort of secondary and supporting structures, and you have these, which are expanded, and there's lots of these. I want to show you one more because firing range fans will be thrilled to death or very, 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 very unhappy with me. So here's another one that's gotten expanded. Look how close this is to firing range. So if you get firing range and you cleared it all out and you think you're done, maybe, maybe not, because you're going to have this destination which has been expanded.
Before it was just like that house in the gas station. What?
And this is a absolutely tough fight. It's tough enough as it is. I mean, now it's even tougher still. So we like these kind of destinations which are close to, they're not as large as or significant as, but they're also adjacent to, and that puts interesting pressure on players. One last one to talk about, sort of, and that's, more macro than that. What you'll see along the way is kind of different and more supporting things, sort of running along your typical paths that are just sort of expanded. I think this one by the riverbank here. Let's see, where am I?
Yeah, some of those the support structure additions we've added are my favorite for my playstyle because I don't like to drop hot. It stresses me out. So with these new support structures and my leisurely jaunt from place to place, destination to destination, I have more places to kind of explore and look at. What's that? What is that?
Whoa!
What is this?
That's a. That's a dope muscle.
It's
so
time
sick.
to wager on, to wage.
That's so cool,
So
dude.
as you're driving around, some of these areas that you're pointing out,
So
these
cool.
are things that have been sort of coming into existence. It's not like they just kind of popped out of nowhere, right?
Oh my gosh, we started seeding out kind of the survey stakes as an example.
Yeah.
Where these things might be going, and with the high degree of What?
What is that, David?
What's that? What's that?
It's the 5-0.
Whoa! No, you didn't, Matt.
That's so cool.
You
So
didn't.
you get a little look at the built-in sensor dart there. No,
So cool, dude.
Oh my God, what have you done?
No, you can't turn those off.
What have you
with
done? What have you done?
You can't turn those off. You lose the sensor dart functionality.
Why would you turn them off?
Well, if you want to be a little bit stealthier, if you want to go for more of a cold pursuit.
I'm done.
God, that's cool.
I think I've outlived my usefulness on this one.
Thanks, Hot Fuzz. Appreciate it. All right.
That's awesome, guys. That's so cool.
All right. So, is there anything else in the Blackout front that you want to cover here today?
Is there anything in the Blackout front that you want us to cover today?
No, I see what you just did there. No, I mean we covered it all. I mean,
there's a lot there. Like Vaughn said, we could sit and talk for hours about the changes that players are going to see tomorrow, that they're going to see a week after that, a week after that.
Yeah, Tony talked about it a little bit when he was up.
Alcatraz, talk about it.
The operation, excuse me, is not tomorrow. It is not Thursday. It is not Friday. It is tomorrow and Thursday and Friday and the entire time. And we put the roadmap up on the Treyarch blog site. It's Treyarch.com. I linked it earlier so that people can just have a direct link to that thing while you guys were talking about it. It's just really important that you understand that this stuff is seasoned and plotted out over the course of time. It is designed to give you things kind of on a schedule that's predictable, and it's absolutely and 100%, and you're absolutely right, on us to do a better job communicating how that works, and that's why we're doing this.
Thank you.
And it's not the only thing we got going on with this. We got some deep dives on the coming with the developer update, which they're editing right now, I think, and we're going to do a much better job. We're going to get on camera a lot more and talk through these things so you guys can understand them more than the bullet point inside the Reddit post. That's just one of the things that we do. It's not
what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Did we make it through?
I think we made it through.
Good stream, boys.
Before we head out today, just
wanted to
offer a few thank yous. First, thank you to our guests who worked really hard to get here today. Also want to thank the comms crew, Tommy Ben, Stephanie Foxy, and Mr. Jay Purrier, Robert Sanchez, Lee Staples, and Rose Villasenor. Want to thank all you guys. Want a few special call-outs for the Activision crew, Malik, Jeffrey, Jared Castle, all
Thanks
of our
for the applause, Vaughn.
And for all your help getting that roadmap done and over the finish line. Kelvin, Kyle, and Allie, thank you for helping to get all those last-minute approvals. Yeah, that is about it. Yeah. Yes, I don't know who else could possibly be left. I'm sure I'll be hearing about that later. Nice. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. Operation 3, Grand Heist.
Boys, good shit. Really good shit. All right. Well, I'm excited for the Operation Grand Heist. So just quick recap. The multiplayer maps are sick. Like, those look so cool. New locations and vehicles in Blackout are amazing. Guns look really cool. Zombie stuff, all right? This new map, art, looks really cool. Name, yikes. But the name doesn't matter. I'm excited for it, cautiously. What I'm really excited for is that it's the last Chaos story map. We're actually getting 2 more Ether story maps in this season. And Blundell made a very, very, like, he was very careful. That's Riley. I will just... Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
You invite me to party?
Yeah, I'm live streaming right now.
You'll invite me.
You are on the stream. I'm gonna end it in a moment. Did you watch the Treyarch live stream?
Yes, I did.
What do you think?
I'm excited.
Yeah, looks pretty sick.
I know.
What about this is the last Chaos map we're getting?
I don't know. Because I mean, like, it feels like it ends at 9/2.
Yeah.
And they come back from Greece. They're just leaving Greece and they go there. There's like a small time gap there where they're talking about the ship and everything in the tunnel. Or the cave type of thing, anyways.
I find it interesting because, like, Blundell was saying, the last Chaos map for this season, he kept saying. And he's like, for the rest of this season, we're going to be doing the Ether story. And I feel like, is there going to be another season of zombies for this game? Seems kind of likely.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's going to be the case at this point, which I'm really excited for. So, anyways, I'm going to get on Apex Legends. All right.
Well, I just finished playing Blood of the Dead. I got to round 29. I got 87 plasma from that game.
Dope. I AFK'd overnight and got 300 plasma.
Oh, you did the same thing?
Yeah.
At least
yeah.
you're saving up for when you get to 15.
I'm waiting for it. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna get on the game, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Okay, now just invite me to party.
Yep.